weekend again, guys. Another edition of Rivera Urban Homestead. It is Saturday. It is like almost 80 degrees, sunny, a little windy, but beautiful out. So as you saw, I just went and got some straw for the chickens. I gave them straw in the outside cage and also in the inside run. They love when they get fresh straw. They love it. But now that that's done, one thing I am going to do this weekend is the herbs that I planted. I think it was basil, sage, Italian parsley, and oregano, I believe. They're getting really big, and we haven't did any harvesting of them really. So I'm going to give you like 3 or 4 different uses for the herbs. So it'll be fun. We'll do a couple little things with the herbs, kind of show you some different ideas of what you can do with them. Then I'll show you the garden. Obviously it's blowing up still. It's looking great. The pepper plants, I just put some of the bigger pepper plants into the old tomato pots, the smaller ones, right? So they got upgraded last night. I'll show you that as well. So let's get started on the weekend adventures, man. So here are the pepper plants. They're all looking really good. Like I said, I upgraded them into these bigger pots. Ran out of potting mix, so I need to go get some. Well, I have some on the side of the house, but I need to fill this one up for the Jimmy Nardello plant right here. So yeah, they're all looking great. I am trying as much as possible to pick off all these flowers, but they are budding like crazy. I really need to get them outside, but right at the moment I don't know where I'm putting them, so we're going to keep them in here for a while. Here's that tomato clipping that I planted a couple weeks back. Look at this growth coming out of it. See that? Right there, there's another one. So it's obviously forming roots down below and starting to become its own plant. Okay, so there's the sage. We're going to take some of that. Also the sweet basil. The Italian parsley, really doing good right here. And the oregano, really good pot right there of oregano. As you can see, the tomato plants are doing really well. I did have to tie them up to a bamboo pole, you know, to keep them up, because we do get some wind on this side of the house. So, but they're all looking really good. And as you can see, everything else is just looking amazing. This is probably the most successful spring garden I have had. The bees are loving the bok choy flowers. They're getting nice and thick with seeds. And just the kales, the dinosaur, the scarlet, the curly kale, everything just growing beautifully. Look at all these seeds we're going to have with bok choy. Oh, hello. The store-bought potatoes that I planted, wow, looking amazing. Our cabbages, looks pretty good. The other Asian cabbage, another cabbage. There's a lot of wasps and stuff around. Look at the head forming right there in that cabbage. That's beautiful. A lot of bees, a lot of bees. No one stings me though, luckily. It's just an amazing sight, guys. This is all edible, everything you see. Isn't that amazing? And I've been harvesting, I've been eating salads, trust me. I've been giving salad away. It's beautiful. Full of life. First thing to do, harvest. Alright, so there you go. Got some basil, some parsley, some oregano, and some sage leaves. All looking really good. So the first thing you can do with your herbs, if you have an abundance, is make up little bags, little gift bags. These bags have all 4 different herbs in one. So my wife has a couple of people at work that were wanting to try some of our herbs, so there you go. That's the first thing you can do with some of them, is give them to friends and family or whatnot. Or try and sell them, but I'm not trying to do that. So now let's move to the second option. Option number 2 is to dehydrate them, dry them, and put them in jars. So I got my basil. I've never done this before, but I'm just going to kind of rip them. That way the juices can get, or the air can get inside those leaves. These little ones we could probably just put on there. Alright, so here's my dehydrator. I gotta say, this is the first time I'm going to be using it for something other than making beef jerky. What can I say? I like beef jerky. Anyway, herbs and spices, it says right here, put it at 95 degrees, which is totally opposite of jerky, which is 160. So 95 degrees, they say it could take 20 to 24 hours, so let's get it rolling. 4:28 on Saturday, so I guess we'll check it maybe tonight before we go to bed, and then in the morning. And of course, another use for your herbs is fresh. You can make pizzas, put them in soups, salads, you know, whatever you use herbs for. If you use them fresh like this, they're so much more potent. You won't need as much as when you buy them from the store. So just eat them fresh, and they will benefit you. One kind of different use for sage, and one thing that I actually like to use it for, is making sage bundles. You just wrap it up in some thread or whatever you have, let them dry out, and then when you burn them, they just smell really good. I think back in the olden days, the Native Americans, and maybe even still today, they kind of use it to get all the bad spirits or any bad luck out of your house and anything like that. So they have sage burning rituals, but it really does smell good. So anyway, that's it for herbs, guys. We're drying some, we're going to eat some fresh, we're going to give some away. You can infuse them in oils to make oil infused herbs. You can press them and actually get the oils from them, and you can use them in those like aroma therapy kind of scenarios. All different uses for herbs, but it'll be interesting to see how they dry. I've never used a dehydrator for them, so another new adventure. You can smoke it too. Haha, just kidding. It's just a sage bundle, guys. Relax. This is a sage bundle of herbs, not the other kind. Does smell good. It's been a while since I've burnt a sage bundle. Let's go cleanse the house with it. Okay, so next project I want to do is turn this chick little cage that we had for the babies. I want to turn it into a food and water station for the chickens now. So what I want to do is elevate that to about right there, make it a roof that's slanted. I'm going to cut the wire out of here, and then underneath there is where we'll put the water, we'll put the food. That way if it rains and I'm at work, the food is not getting wet being out here. Plus they have a lot of coverage now to go under, a lot of protection. So it'll be cool. We'll reuse it. First thing I'm going to do is just use this piece of wood I found, just to kind of prop it up so I can get an angle on my side post. I need to get the angle of the board, but that's too tall. I don't want it that high. No, I think that's too high also. Go a little lower. I like that level right there. So now I'm just going to take my pieces of wood. What I'm going to do is just screw these right into the frame, and then this will just sit right on top of it, the roof. Okay, so we're here on the side now. So all we're doing is we're going to put this board here, because this is going to get screwed to the frame and hold the roof up. So we just put that there. We mark we mark the angle of the roof now on there. So there we go. We got our mark there. Now we could just cut that and it'll kind of hold it up right where this height is. Go do the other side. Look who's come to say hi. What are you doing in here? They're asking me. I'm building you something. Got it. I don't promote them, but I just use it. Alright, so I'm just going to use this ledge real quick to cut these little angles with my cordless circular saw that I got for Christmas. I love this thing. So convenient. So convenient. Okay, so now I'm going to mark this, how high it needs to be to keep this level. So I'll put it in. Put it right where it's going to go. Okay. Once I mark them, then I can pick this up and get it out of my way and make it easy. Okay, so I'm back with the next set of tools, some clippers and stuff. I want to cut out the front portion of this hardware cloth. That way they can get through here. I could pull it out all the way around, but that's a lot of staples I put in it, so it would just make quite a mess with the staples. Plus, I kind of like having those walls still shielded. If I need it in the future, I could just put a front on it. Make it easy on myself. So, I think take a look at this compost. Oh yeah. Look at that. Woo, man. Ah, that is ready for the garden, folks. And actually, I'm going to scoop this out tomorrow for sure before I set up the rest of it. And for people who have not worked around hardware cloth, these things are pokey, man. They will stick you. So I'm going to curl all them around so no one gets hurt. Chickens or little boys named Tyler or me. It's starting to get dark, but I want to shovel the stuff out of that box because it is really good compost. So I'm going to collect it in some barrels before I put their water and feed in there. If you listen closely in the background, you'll hear our little screech owls going off in the trees. Alright guys, obviously it is not completely done, but hey, for a quick little project this evening before the sun went down, we got quite a bit done. Obviously I'm going to buy some of that plastic sheathing like I have on the chicken coop roof, and I want to put that on there so that wood doesn't get tarnished. You know, this stuff, the ridge stuff. But 3 5-gallon buckets full of beautiful, beautiful compost. That is amazing. Splash some down here. Look at how dark it is. That compost is awesome. So now they have a place to go when it rains. They have a place where their food will stay dry. I'm gonna probably hang the feeder from the roof. It's getting dark. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Nice sunset happening right now. Chickens are in bed. Let's see if you can hear the owl. I'll leave it on for a minute. Just listen. It's usually right above us in the trees. Molly, come on. I like giving my pepper plants some wind resistance while they're indoors, just to get them ready for the breezy weather. So, I just crank up the fan. Whoa, I saw a head in there. Oh, hi Bubba, you're home from K's?
La cha cha cha.
Say hello.
Hello.
Anyway, so yeah, get them blowing around a little. Give them a little resistance. It just strengthens the plants. So I just got done barbecuing a salmon fillet. It's such a beautiful night out here. I'm just sitting out here in the dark, listening to the owls. I actually saw and found an owl up in the tree with the flashlight and showed Tyler. That was pretty cool. Little screech owls, small ones. But I'm just out here listening, hanging out. So when the food was done, I was like, I'm not ready to go inside yet. So I have chunked wood all day long for my barbecue. Apple wood, hickory, all kinds of different things. So now I'm just having a little fire in the barbecue. One thing it does though is season it. So as I'm burning the wood and I'm burning the wood, the aroma's getting into the grill. And then toward the end of the night when I'm ready to be done out here, I'll put the lid on and just let that wood slow cook in the grill. And it just makes a beautiful taste. My grill has its own flavors, just like a cast iron. It gets seasoned with time. So having little fires in the barbecue is actually a benefit. Alright guys, so it's Sunday about 2:30. This morning I got up, I went out to the jetty, I fished till from like 8 to 1. So I was out there for quite a few hours. I caught one nice sheep's head, cooked it for lunch, ate it. It was yummy. And now I finished this. I hung up the feed bucket, so now it's just on a carabiner or whatever they call those things, and an eye hook. So it just hangs up now. The water's over here. So the water feed station looks good, man. It's practical. They can come under here during rain or whatnot. And now I cleared up the whole area for just straight composting. Because as you knew, with the waterer, we had that right here in the center of the area. So I had to work around it. There's nothing here now, just straight composting area. And that's going to be nice for them. So cool. We worked with some herbs. I'm still dehydrating those herbs, so it hasn't quite been 24 hours yet, but that's kind of a pain. I probably won't do that again. But anyway, it was still a cool process to try. So there's the feed station. I like it. Oh yeah, so now the run is nice and clear. Just for them, no obstacles to work around. Nice area for composting. All right. Molly, you want to say have a good day? No? Okay. Y'all have a good one, man. Enjoy the work week, and we will see you next weekend.